See if that works. Hey, what's up, guys? Years now. And when I first groomed him, he was all teeth, just growling, showing his teeth, biting sometimes, and his back leg here was pretty much useless on this side. But now, with the loving family, with regular grooming and vet visits, good health care, good loving family, he's doing. Oh, look at this. He's doing. Thank so much better. So he even gives me kisses. He loves so much, and I think he loves me because he knows that how much I like. Whenever I catch a snag, you'll see his teeth kind of go up, right? There you go. And the reason why I'm even sharing this, oh, you're okay. See, he's biting the brush now. Now he chooses to bite the brush, the tool, not my hands or me. Oh, and he can see that it's nothing personal, no hurt feelings. And I just wanted to share this because I feel like just because he's made a bunch of progress with me and he's good with me, it doesn't mean that he doesn't have those tendencies anymore. And he recently had a little accident with someone, and so now he's going to be getting some aggression training, to kind of help him learn not to have those same responses because it does scare people. And I feel like sometimes though, when a dog shows you their teeth or growls, sometimes by you getting scared, it can make the whole situation much worse. So, just a week ago, my mom and I were walking the Collins Hill Trail. It's a trail near my house, and my dogs are older, so they like to take their time and kind of stroll rather than walk. You're okay, buddy. And so, my mom walked ahead of me, and I was taking my time walking with my dogs. Then, when I finally met up with my mom, she was shook. And she said, luckily, I had my walking stick with me because a dog attacked her, And she was saying a dog ran up to her and was barking and growling. And she got so scared. She was yelling at the dog and screaming, like, to get away from her. And she said the owner was calling the dog. So the dog ran back to the owner. But then, you see that? See him kind of showing his teeth a little bit? But it's okay as long as I'm not scared of it and I don't take it personally. See, even when he touches my teeth, he doesn't want to bite down hard. But if I were to say and I don't trust him, and I showed him with my body language, and I don't trust him, and I'm like, and I touch him hesitantly, he feels all of this. And so Cesar Millan says it best: if you want trust from a dog, you first have to give them your complete trust. You have to trust them first. Because if you don't trust them, now they feel like there's no reason to trust you. You're okay, you're okay. And I think that sometimes we forget that not every bite means the same thing. When he's biting the tool like that, he's not even clamping down. He's just kind of inspecting it almost, right? And so back to my mom. I asked what happened, and she was saying that she was waving the stick and hitting it on the ground and telling the dog to get away from her. And the dog was like growling at her and showing her his teeth, and he was like kind of lunging at her. So she said she hit the dog with the stick, with her walking sticks, hit it because she was scared. And she said the dog, like kept trying to attack her, and so the owner came and got the dog. And the owner was telling my mom, "Oh, I'm sorry, he's just excited. He just gets excited." And my mom was like excited, like he almost killed me, she was scared. But I didn't want to tell my mom, I just told her, yeah, I don't, I told her, I understand, everybody would understand why she would hit the dog with her walking stick. And it wasn't like she was trying to beat the dog senseless. She just wanted to get the dog away from her. And she was really scared. But I didn't want to tell my mom this because, you know, I'm not, I know I give a lot of advice on my YouTube channel, things like that, but when you actually meet me, if you actually sit down and have a conversation with me, I feel very uncomfortable actually to someone's face telling them, well, you should have. You didn't do that right, So I just told my mom, I understand, anybody would have probably done the same thing. But what I really was thinking was, had that been me, right? Even if it was with my dogs, or even if I was all by myself and I didn't have a stick to protect me or anything, I doubt the same thing would have happened if it was me. Hey, you're all right, buddy. Because I wouldn't have shown fear. I wouldn't have been afraid if that dog ran up to me showing its teeth. I would have stood and I would have looked at the dog and I would have just calmly, you know, address it. And how would I have addressed it? I don't know. It really would depend on the situation because I wasn't there to see it. But depending on the dog, my reaction would be different depending on what it's doing. But the last thing I would be is scared or terrified that the dog was going to come try to kill me because I know that deep down, dogs don't really want to kill people. It's just not bred in them to do that. So I know that something must be triggering this dog to do that. And as long as I don't take it personally, as long as I don't think, oh, this dog doesn't like me, or this dog wants to kill me or hates me or he's mad at me, anything like that, I'm just projecting. I'm just making assumptions that are not true. But if I don't take it personally and I just look at the behavior objectively, this is what this dog's doing. Okay, it's probably reacting that way because of this or, previous circumstances in his life. But if I don't take it personally and he sees that I'm not scared of him, even when he turns and, shows his teeth or whatever, no, you're all right, buddy, don't do that. Then he's okay. You're all right. There we go. And I just think that applies to a lot of things in life. Sometimes when people react negatively towards us, when people snap at us, or ignore, or we feel like they're ignoring us, or we feel like they've treated us unfairly, they snapped at us. It's so easy to take things personally and feel offended. I do that too. I catch myself all the time making assumptions about people and their actions and their behavior towards me. I interpret it like, oh, this must mean they don't like me. It must mean that you know, they're fake with me and they're talking behind my back. When none of that is necessarily true. It may be sometimes, but I feel like a lot of times we do it to ourselves. It's like if we could just kind of give the other person the benefit of the doubt and sometimes just tell ourselves it may not be personal. It may not have anything to do with me. It may just have a lot to do with what's going on in their own personal lives, and just give people a pass. I feel like that solves so many problems that we have before they even start because we don't let it fester inside of us. We don't let it, the pressure build up inside. And then one day we just erupt, and just blow up on people. So, same thing with the dog grooming. So I've worked with some groomers who I've seen snap. I've done it too, and I've had to set the dog down and walk away a few times because you start to take it personal and you start to get upset with the dog. Hey, you're all right. And then you start to feel upset. And then a lot of times you'll see the groomer, it's okay, like trying to make a joke out of it, and they'll even like kind of laugh or stuff, and then all of a sudden the dog bite, hey, this all of a sudden this eruption. Well, it's because if you're taking it personal and you're starting to feel that frustration or anger or resentment build up inside, then it does, the pressure builds. So the best thing to do is just, I think, release the pressure building up inside. How do you do that? You just vocalize, you say, okay, I'm feeling frustrated. And sometimes just by acknowledging that, it kind of releases that pressure. Hey, what's up, Bubba Longshaft? When dogs try to bite, I just look at them in the eye and tell them, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Until we both start. Robin Williams, nice. That Robin Williams trick in Good Will Hunting, right? Look at the bright side. Most people talk at the front of your back. Yeah. Um, exactly, right? The front of your back. What's up, Dolores? Happy Labor Day to you as well. Is it Labor Day? Oh, yeah, it is. Technically, if they talk crap behind your back, they also talk crap behind your front. That is true, technically. But here's the thing. I mean, when you talk crap about people, right? When you're talking shit about people, you're literally having to create shit inside of you in order for it to come out of your mouth, So I just feel like, the whole Shit talking. You can't shit talk someone and walk away clean because that shit's coming out of your own mouth. You know what I'm saying? So it stains, it leaves. So, I, you know what they say about gossip? The reason why it's spelled gossip, Gossip, because it's like go sip on some poison and it'll slowly kill you inside, right? And when do people usually gossip? When do people usually get around and talk shit about other people? Usually when you sit down for a meal, right? People get together, they sit down to have a meal together, and they start talking bad about other people, people that you know and things like that. Guess what I heard about so and so, right? Pull up a chair. And you're sitting down eating, taking food into your body, and you're literally ingesting this poison being spread around the table, you know? So for me, when I sit down and I start eating with people when we meet together and they start talking bad about other people, I excuse myself. I go to the restroom and I take a long break. You know what I'm saying? Maybe and find like someone who's selling weed around the corner, you know? No, I was kidding. But for me, I just don't take part of it anymore. I try not to. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to lie here. Sometimes when I see some drama on Facebook, I do want to pull up a chair, eat some popcorn like that meme and just watch it because sometimes drama is fun to look at, right? But I try to catch myself and I ask myself, how is this improving my life? You know, and it really doesn't. Sometimes it makes you upset, sometimes it gets you angry. And how is that really helping anything? It's not. It's it's kind of stopping your parasympathetic nervous system from being able to, it stops your immune system from functioning to the best of its ability when you're stressed. You don't digest food well. It's like so it's true that when you what did it say? When you hold on to resentment, this is the Buddha speaking directly through me, by the way. This is the Buddha speaking directly through me, using me as a channel. But the Buddha says, when you hold on to resentment, it's like holding on to a hot piece of coal with the intention to throw it at your enemy. You're the only one that gets burned, you know? Or better yet, drinking poison. It's like drinking poison, hoping that your enemy will die, And that's why gossiping really is like sipping on poison. So, anyways, um, I don't even know how. Oh yeah, that's right. Bubba Longshaft got me. But anyways, going back to the point with the dogs, whenever whenever a dog starts to show its teeth or starts to, get a little what you would define as aggressive behavior, try and that's the thing with labels. Once you label it as aggression, then it's you it starts to become aggressive, right? And because you define it as aggression, then we'll restrain him more, right? Rather than giving him more freedom to help him feel a little more relaxed so he doesn't have to feel like he has to fight. Rather than doing that, we restrain him more, making him more frustrated, causing him to fight even more, fight harder. Then we'll put a muzzle on him. So now he can't even communicate with us with his mouth, which is what the way that they do communicate with each other. Now you've taken away his ability to communicate with you. Now he's feeling even more mad and more scared, more frustrated. Now you're gonna get even worse fight from the dog. So by labeling something as as violent or aggressive, or when you call someone an asshole, that's what they've become. They say that when you make a judgment, with this Dr. Wayne Dyer speaking through me now, because I have all the like wise sages from the past who have passed on. They all speak directly directly through me. They use me as a mouthpiece these days. Anyways, Dr. Wayne Dyer says that when you make a judgment about somebody else, when someone makes a judgment about you even, it doesn't define you. It defines them. When someone calls you stupid, that doesn't make you a stupid person. It makes them the kind of person who needs to judge others, call people stupid in order for them to feel better. It doesn't define who you are, it defines who they are. You know? You're all right. There you go. So, as long as we don't as long as we don't internalize it, right? We don't let the bad stuff in. Because again, Dr. Wayne Dyer makes a good point. He's saying it does, don't let what other people do or say to you bother you or affect who you are, right? So if someone comes in or walks into a room that you're in, they say, "Hey, stupid," and you turn around, right? Why even turn around? It's like, hey, well, how did they know I was here? If you don't believe that you're a stupid person, then when someone says, "Hey, stupid," don't even turn around. You know, if they come and tap on you on your shoulder, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were talking to me," you know. But same thing with the dogs. I think that once we call a dog aggressive, once we label a dog as aggressive or a biter or then we actually create that for ourselves because of the way we treat the dog, because of the way we approach them, and the way we feel when we touch them, because they literally feel how we're feeling through our fingertips. They feel our heartbeat. They feel everything. They can sniff out if you have cancer in your body. You know what I'm saying? So they can tell if you're frustrated. So with the dog, I feel like like my mom, when she saw that dog running up to her, she immediately decided in her mind, this is a dangerous dog and it's trying to kill me, it's trying to attack me. So of course she would react in a way that I need to save my own life, right? So she screams at the dog, she yells at the dog, and now the dog is like, "Rawr," responding in kind. Then she's waving that stick at it, trying to hit it. Now the dog's mad, and then she actually hits the dog. Now the dog's pissed. Probably like, dude, I just wanted to go and sniff you. you know, I was excited to see you, and I just wanted to sniff you. You're a new person, and now you're like attacking me. So now the dog's upset. But I'm just saying, like, and who knows? Maybe the dog really was a bad dog, but I doubt it. If it was off leash and the parents were around, like, kind of having a picnic on the grass and stuff or whatever, and the dog was running around, I doubt that dog was the type of dog that goes around biting people. But because that's what my mom thought, and because that's how she treated the dog, that's how the dog reacted to her. Like Cesar Millan says, there are no bad dogs, only bad owners, right? um, like Cobra Kai, and Karate Kid. Mr. Miyagi said there are no bad students, only bad teachers, right? Same thing. It's like once you decide that this is a bad dog and this is an aggressive dog and I don't like them, now you've literally created that situation for yourself, you know? But if you approach it more understanding, this dog is sensitive to pain. Something must have happened to him before he ended up at the rescue shelter. You know, he came with a broken leg. It's pretty much just dangling there, useless. So who knows what could have happened there? So we can approach it more instead of saying this is a bad dog because he's showing his teeth and he has a tendency to bite. So this is an aggressive bad dog. Once we decide that for ourselves, then we create that situation for ourselves. But if we tell ourselves, this dog must be scared, or this dog must be sensitive to pain because something happened to him early in his life, and he still holds on to that. He still retains that memory, those emotions, because dogs do have emotions. So I just wanted to share this because I think it is important to take our time with them, be patient and understanding with them. And I just think it's important to not approach grooming as this checklist kind of, oh, it's just an errand, it's just a chore, right? Oh, like making our bed, it's not. Grooming is a very intimate activity, done with two living beings who are conscious. Well, I hope I'm conscious. Hopefully I'm woke, right? Woke AF. Anyways, I am woke AF. He's not. But anyways, we're two sentient beings. We both have thoughts and feelings about this, and I need to respect his. His thoughts and feelings are just as valid as my own. Just because he can't articulate himself as eloquently as I can, he doesn't have the charisma that just oozes from my pores. Literally oozes from my. This is charisma that's coming out of here. You think it's sweat? It's called charisma. Anyways, as charismatic as I am. Just because he can't match that doesn't mean his thoughts and feelings are not as valid as mine. So I need to respect that. This is his body that I'm working on, you know? And as long as I'm patient and I work gently, he actually appreciates how it feels now when I get all of that dead hair combed out. See that? And you can feel that fuzziness coming out. See that? It actually feels good for him now. See that? So once he understands that I'm actually just trying to help you, bro, and I understand that you have these reactions to pain because something must happen. Something must have happened, you know? Now, instead of a bad dog that bites, an aggressive dog, I have a sweetheart here who's misunderstood. I have a sweet child here, a little baby, you know? It's like, and I always tell people, treat your dogs as, especially the ones that act up, treat them as how you would treat a child that came from a war-torn country that has seen some horrible things that they can't even tell you about because they can't speak our language. They're confused and scared because they don't know our culture or traditions, and they don't know why we're trying to give them a nice haircut, bothering them, combing through them, washing them. They don't understand why we're doing this. So you have to be gentle. We have to be very clear and obvious in our body language, in the way we're feeling, in the way we're communicating with them through our body language. That that changes the whole experience. So now, instead of a dog that is biting and scared and growling, I have this sweetheart who does have a tendency to react, but I understand that and I work with that, you know? So try not to approach grooming with the cookie cutter approach, one size fits all. It's not true because every dog's different. Every dog has had different experiences, life experiences. We have to honor that and go into their intimate spaces and groom them. It's a privilege that we earn. We don't have a right to it. No one has a right to just go through a dog's coat and make them feel uncomfortable. We have to earn that privilege to do that. Anyways, um, Raquel, you're working on oh, in my Toastmasters meeting this past last week, they actually talked about Labor Day and how it started. It's pretty fascinating. And Labor Day was actually on a Tuesday, the original Labor Days, but then they realized it's hard to get people, to come back on the weekend on Monday and then they can have Tuesday off. So they changed it. I forget when they changed it to Monday, and that makes more sense, right? 3-day weekend. Anyways, oh, we did fireworks last night because I bought some fireworks on the way down from Tennessee while riding with my daughters. And these fireworks, man, they're so. Oh yeah, I did ask my neighbors. I was like, "Hey, is it okay if we do fireworks? I don't want to be obnoxious. It's Labor Day weekend. We just thought." And they're like, "Yeah, go ahead." We we didn't even light all of them. We didn't even light like half of them because it was just so loud. I mean, it was wonderful. It was awesome, but yeah, it was just so short. I was like, Dad, let's just continue this in Tennessee. She was like, when we go back home to Tennessee, I was like, why? Why Tennessee? She was like, because in Tennessee it's the country, they don't care. Anyways, so I was like, yeah, you're right. Because when I was changing my ex's oil for her car, one time I was changing the car engine oil and a little bit oil dripped and everything, and the neighbor across the street, I was like, hey, I'm sorry, I hope it's okay that I'm doing the oil change here. I was like, I'll try to clean up the oils that I spilled. And the guy goes, hey man, you in Cheatham County. He's like, you in Cheatham County. And I was like, I guess that should explain it. I don't understand why that explains anything. I don't know why that makes spilling oil okay. But yeah, that was his explanation. Hey man, you in Cheatham County. It's like, okay. I guess that'll be my explanation too for anything. If my daughter is telling me like, "Hey, Dad, I'm sorry I did this and that," I'll say, "Hey, girl, you in Cheatham County." She'll say, "What? What does that mean?" I don't know. That's the explanation I got. Anyways, so just wanted to share that real quick. Just jump on here and just kind of share my real life testimonial, I guess. Grooming a dog that used to bite and growl, even howl. He used to yell at me. But now look at him. Over the years, I've earned his trust. I've earned his respect. And now, because I didn't push it, I played it cool, with him at least. Now he actually loves me. It only took 3 years, but that's my style. Anyways, hopefully this was helpful, Raquel. Thanks for everything, guys. Thanks for all your support and watching. Hopefully everybody has a great Labor Day weekend.